All right, football fans, welcome back into another edition of Fantasy NFL Today, brought to you by Sports Ethos. My name is Anthony Quaranta. You can follow me at AQ Fresh. I'm your host today. You can follow us on Twitter at Ethos Fantasy NFL. You can follow all of our work, including my articles, at sportsethos.com. And today we have two very special guests, the co-creators of SBS Fantasy, On-Chain Best Ball, Boris and Richard Vagner. How's it going, guys?
Going well. What's up, everybody? Thank you for having us.
Of
Appreciate it,
course.
Q. We are very excited to hop into a draft, and for the people who are watching this and never seen a draft or experienced it, share kind of the details, what makes it different, stuff like that. But yeah, doing well.
Yeah, doing well as well.
Very
Excited
good.
that you have us here, and we're stoked to be able to dive deep into why we truly believe in our product and believe that on-chain best ball is yes, I'm gonna say it here, but it's just superior to regular best ball. Like we do really believe in it, and just excited to go to dive into it and draft with you. So.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm certainly excited to hear about it. Before we get into that though, like how did you guys get started in just playing best ball? Like how were you introduced to it? Like did you start just with, like Underdog and DraftKings and all these platforms? Just kind of talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, I personally got in through Underdog. I would say did I don't know the first year maybe 10, and then when I did not get into the finals, surprise surprise, but instantly hooked into it. I think just the idea of a large field contest where you could win a bunch of money up top is pretty intriguing, I would say, compared to your traditional 12-man redraft league. And yeah, I think naturally, I mean, we're going into it later, but naturally seeing how dope that was, we wanted to do it ourselves. I think I got Boris into Underdog as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's so crazy, man. It's just how everything works in the world, right? Like literally everything. It's like, I've been playing fantasy football my entire life, like 20 plus years. I've done redraft, done dynasty, every single type you can name, right? And as best ball was getting, the thing is, best ball has been around for a long time, but
Sure.
as it's been getting a lot more attention as of recently, everybody's, oh, you need to go play best ball, Boris. I'm like, bro, like, why am I like, I love to do the lineups. I'm not, fuck that. And everybody keeps saying that. And I'm like, it took me a while to just give in. And then once I gave in, I'm like, oh my God, like how this is makes so much sense. You don't have to set lineups. You don't have to do the trades. Like you can do as many drafts as you want. The prize pools are much bigger. Like it just makes so much sense of how fantasy football, that's why it's the fastest growing format right now. And why it makes sense for even more people to get onboarded into fantasy football, so.
I don't think I mean, I'm sure mostly everyone here watching this plays best ball. Not like I have to convince anyone, but I think in terms of player takes and stuff like that, it's a little more kind of defined. With redraft, there's lineups, you can mess something up. This is more like if you have player takes, you can actually see it through without you getting in your own way in sense.
Yeah, no, and that's something that also drew me to best ball. So this is my third year playing. I started on Underdog. I kind of just fell victim of that, the free marketing where people will post their teams on Twitter and whatever. I'm like, that looks interesting. Like I want to see what that's about. And I drafted my first team, and of course it wasn't very good. And then 170 something teams later, I ended up finishing in 7th place in one of the puppy tournaments, which was very cool. So of course I was immediately kind of drawn back in for last year, where I hit second in the Superflex Golden, which was a single entry. And so I'm hooked. Can't win forever. So
that's tough too. That's really special to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. But we play a losing game, so I'm sure this year is going to come back to bite me, right?
You're paying the rake this year.
Yeah, this year, I probably owe Underdog some rake this year. Okay, so how did you guys first think of the I guess the SBS concept?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Boris.
No, go ahead. You want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll try to give it a go. So originally, we got into the NFT space through Bored Apes. I don't know if people watch this know it's like I would say one of the biggest, if not the biggest, NFT communities out there. And naturally, us being huge into fantasy football, we're like, how do we bridge these two together? So the first product we actually ever came out with was like a dynasty product. So that's
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
yeah, that was a cool thing, but the problem is, with more, we didn't make it to where you had to re-up every year. But it became really big. We had millions of dollars in prizes, gave away some Bored Apes that were worth like 500K at the time for first place. Did really well, but of course came to kind of a closure. I mean, it's still going on, but came to a smaller thing because people weren't rebuying every single year. And so we kind of thought, hey, how do we create a contest where it's yearly, where people have to buy in, but also we're big into best ball. How do we bring that in? And so we created Banana Best Ball. The first year, we actually launched with, what was it? 2 week. How long do people have to draft, Boris? For the first week.
I think it was.
Best ball.
Yeah, I think it just was out for like the first 2 weeks, and it was like in season and something like that.
Yeah, I think we launched it in season. There was like a couple weeks to draft. It did pretty well. And then last year we launched year 2. It grew like 5x what we did the first year. And then this is our first official year where there's kind of a whole off season, a draft, couple months, to where there's player movement and you could see a lot of different stuff happening.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just crazy because like last year we did 500 drafts, right? And again, compared to like Underdog and DraftKings, they do they can do 500 drafts in like a day. They have millions of.
Yeah, no, I think that's huge for something that's, first of all, kind of just coming from nothing, and second, that is such a totally different concept. Like I think that's impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so we did 500 last year, and then like this year already, like we've done over 600 drafts. Like most people draft. Like we're like this year our goal, like this is the thing. This year our goal is like we need to get more best ball people to play, because majority of people aren't like best ball natives that have been playing our game, and it's funny, like we got them to play and then they started liking it and they're like, oh my god, the best ball makes so much sense, but we didn't bring in like best ball native people. So this year we were like, okay, like we need to bring in social login where Web2 users, like you don't even know you're dealing with crypto. You don't even need to have a wallet. It creates one for you. You don't even need to pay with crypto. Like, you can use a debit card option as you did yesterday, which which is super nice and allows
seamless, by the way. Seamless transactions.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So it's just the perfect way to like finally bridge the two, because I feel like it just makes the most sense. So, pivoting back to like where I was saying, right? So we had like 500 drafts last year, and this year we had over 600, and we just hit 100% of the guarantee price pool of, it's around 100K. And so as more mints and people keep buying, it'll keep growing and growing and growing. So,
not to ramble on that question, but like,
no, for sure.
Two of the biggest things, because of course we didn't want to just be like, hey, we're just gonna be like, we had to come up with, okay, like we're gonna bridge the on-chain and NFTs with fantasy football. Kind of how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna make it cool? And as Boris was saying, like that prize pool, that's 100K now. When we first released the guarantee prize pool, it was only at 69K. So because the prize pool is in ETH, as it goes up or down, it's currently going crazy right now. So the prize pool is almost 2x from the moment we launched the contest. And then the second biggest thing is like you can buy and sell teams. If you go on OpenSea, the marketplaces, you can actually, you have a good draft, sell your team. You make the finals, sell your team. Don't make the finals, buy a dope team, have a sweat. NFTs and the blockchain kind of allow for that.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting that like if you like say you draft a team and it's started out hot, but you kind of see that it's it's the end is near, you can kind of see trends halfway through the year and stuff, and you see I'm not as confident as this team's been performing. Maybe you could find someone to buy it and just, realize the equity immediately and not have to worry about it.
Like if
Exactly.
Terry McLaurin gets traded.
Well, but the thing is, everybody sees those news. But I mean, even if you're in the finals and you're like the top 10 at the end or whatever, or top 20, and you're just like, dude, I'd rather just get this guaranteed money. Like, I don't want to, even though like we're all degens, we do want to sweat, but like maybe that money is nice enough. By the way, I think it's echoing a little.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
So like, yeah.
That was me.
Was that you, Richard? You're saying?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like, maybe you want the equity because, someone is like, hey, I'll offer you this amount. Just the fact that there's those options is just really why we believe like literally the blockchain. Yes, a lot of people hear the blockchain, they hear crypto, they hear all that. Oh my God, it's scary, a scam. Right? It's scary. But like the thing is that like we're kind of new to it too. Like we got onboarded in 2021. It's not like we were there from the beginning. And like, yes, just like in every single field, there's a lot of scary shit and scammy shit out there, but there's a lot of amazing tech that goes out and a lot of amazing builders and things. I mean, there was like a tweet saying that like Silicon Valley now and stuff like that, they're going to start like tokenizing everything. So, I mean, like it only makes sense to do this on every way because it just makes things easier. It makes things better. It makes things more efficient, right? Like real estate, for example, if you're able to tokenize it, it's just easier transactions. It just goes on and on and on. But like, yes, there are a lot of scammers and a lot of issues. It gives it a bad rep, but we've always felt since 2021 that like fantasy football and the blockchain, it's the perfect mesh, man. It's, so.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. Welcome in Fantasy Couch. I think he's bragging about a 10,000th place finish in one of your initial tournaments. Let's go ahead. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's go ahead and pull up the platform. I like this view a little bit better for now. See if we can go ahead and get into a draft here.
So you press join. Just press join draft.
I think it's just.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. And then we can kind of just talk about like the differences. We're only waiting for one more, so very nice.
Oh wow! I did not even know that was sweet.
Yeah, no, Fantasy Couch again. Thanks for joining. He indicated that there were about 3 more spots, which kind of prompted me, hey, let's go ahead and at least start the draft here soon. Just waiting for one more.
There it
is. So let me go back to the screen. Very nice. Thanks for filling it so quickly. Let's see.
Did we get the jackpot? The Hall of Fame. Can we? Yo, Dev, I told you to do it during this.
Did we get it and did we not? I think we were close.
We didn't. So it would have to go in the middle, like jackpot, and then this whole entire draft. So right now it's black, right? It would. So if it's a jackpot, it would turn all red. And then if it's a Hall of Fame, it would all turn gold. So
okay, interesting. And so what are the Hall of Fame drafts and what are the jackpot drafts as we wait for the countdown and we have the 7th pick in the draft?
Nice. Go ahead, Rich. You want to say it?
Oh yeah. So Hall of Fame is the more common one that lets you compete for more prizes alongside the main prize pool. So yeah, you pretty much if you win your Hall of Fame league, you get put in to the playoffs with all the Hall of Fame winners, and then it's a week 15 to week 17 sprint with prizes up top. And then the jackpot is definitely the more rare one, the one people want more, I would say, because if you win your jackpot league, you automatically go to the finals, which is pretty OP, I would say. I can only dream of a final sweat. So, having a league where all you got to do is finish first out of 10 people and you make it straight to the finals is pretty nice.
Yes.
That's definitely appealing.
So let's just who are you thinking? Who are we thinking over here?
So I think I'm definitely going to anchor RB. I'm going to start with a running back. I'm perfectly fine with either of these options. We'll go ahead and take the Detroit running back one, which in my world is Jahmyr Gibbs. Here it is just Detroit running back one. And so what's kind of the difference there from drafting Jahmyr Gibbs to just drafting the positional RB1 for Detroit?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, that is like injuries, just completely destroying teams. Like if you're on UD and you draft Jahmyr Gibbs and he goes down, you're done. You're pretty much done for the year. I would say losing your first round pick is pretty hard to come back from. I'm not sure. Maybe it has been done, but chances are very low. So the way it works here is you get the highest scoring player each week. So if Jahmyr Gibbs goes down or he just has a bad game, but David Montgomery goes off, you would get David Montgomery's points. Like if Gibbs scores like 5 points and Montgomery scores 20, you get David Montgomery's 20 points for that week. Also, if you draft a trade running back too, you would get the second highest scoring player that week. So in that example, it would be Gibbs' 5 points.
Oh, that's really interesting. So regardless of who the top dog is, and if both are injured, and they have, I think, Sion Vaki somewhere on the roster, and he comes out and has 2 touchdowns. Like I get Sion Vaki.
That's the beauty about it. Like you get to enjoy the game, and you basically want one dude. If you have the RB1, well, you go ahead. If you want, just so you know, though, in our drafts, wide receiver ones go crazy. So like everybody's trying to get a lot of ones. So like what's going to happen is that it might be a lot harder to get ones now coming back. But listen, you can't hate those 2 picks. Like I love those 2 picks. You know what I'm saying?
And I might be overcompensating here because in the first draft I went pretty wide receiver heavy. I only ended up with 2 running back ones and a couple 2s. So maybe overcompensating, just trying to get 2 absolute studs.
And that's the thing, man. And a lot of people like people have done like hundreds of drafts, right? And like people are like, okay, they try to get the 4 4s, 4 wide receiver, 1 4. But the way I look at it, me personally, like I just want, if there's clearly tiers and I love that specific tier right there of players, like I don't care if it's running back or wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like I want the tier. So, it makes sense. And again, the more you do, the more you can kind of gauge, okay, when does this player usually go? ADP, you get a hang. Because, if you're doing a lot of underdog, you're so used to the underdog ADPs and stuff like that. So.
Right. So this is certainly interesting. There's just looking at the board here, a lot of wide receivers, which is fairly common in underdog as well, as you start 3 wide receivers. But I think here you just start 2. Is that correct?
Yep, you start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex spot. So could be your 3rd wide receiver, could be your 3rd running back, depending who does better.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So we'll probably have to look to try to add a wide receiver here coming up, seeing as you're right, they
go crazy.
They're flying off the board.
What's interesting though? Like I wonder why that is the case, though, because there's more wide receiver 2s that are viable than running back 2s at the end of drafts. And people are more inclined to take wide receiver 2s than running back 2s. So, like, why is it, that wide receivers are the first to go that fast? Maybe people are just used to the platforms.
Okay, who do you like here? See, like here, Indianapolis Colts for RB1. Like, I love him too so much.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to subscribe to what I believe Richard was just saying. And look, wide receiver 2 score more points than running back 2. So let's just go ahead and get 3 absolute horses.
Yeah, and honestly, at that point, I don't even think you need another running back.
Probably not. I guess it depends on the buys, but that's not something that really. Let's see here. What are we at?
Look at that. That's what happens when you don't look, man. It just
perfect. No bye week conundrum. So yeah, maybe we just go ahead and stack other positions here. And there's still plenty of wide receiver ones on the board. Obviously not as good as the top dogs and like the top, or I should say the top offenses really, because you're not drafting specific players. But I like a lot of the options still for receivers here.
No, I really like that build personally. Like I think they're dependable running backs with high, they're gonna score a lot of points, So, I don't know. I really like it a lot personally.
I agree with Fantasy Couch. Not looking at buys, it works 100% of the time. It's the best strategy. I'm a big proponent of that. I'm sure the more you focus, the tougher it gets.
This is what's crazy. Like the more drafts I do, and I still haven't done that many. Okay.
Let's go with, man, I'm thinking either, you know what? Let's go with San Francisco. They've had the ability to produce some high-end wide receiver weeks.
I agree. I like it.
Plus, I'm a big Ricky Pearsall fan. So if I can make sure I have a couple shares of him throughout the year here, I'm certainly gonna go ahead and do that too.
Yeah, and I think like that's what makes this so interesting too. It kind of, there's these ambiguous backfields, ambiguous wide receiver rooms, to where like you don't technically there's many outs to get there. You're not just betting on one player. In the case of Brandon Ayuk could be something, right? He got way too much money to be nothing.
I mean, he has the talent. Like we know he has the talent. There's some, clearly he was still hobbled by injury last year, and he was just not himself. But I think he'll be back. I think he'll be fine. Honestly.
Yeah. I think I agree with you on that one. Let's kind of see how the board is shaken out after the big wide receiver run. Still lots of receivers going. Just one non-running back or
that's crazy, bro.
Position. Yeah. That feels really interesting going into round 5.
Yeah. And then you got the first tight end that goes. Right. And, like, to me, round 4, bro, like, I think even though it has 3 kids, like, he's done so many jobs. I don't understand why to get him in the 4th. Like, I probably because I've seen him slide to 5.
Got him a huge ADP value.
Did he? Does he usually go 3?
ADP is like 27, yeah.
And he got him at what?
I'd have to look. In the 40s.
Yeah, maybe I can be tripping. I thought I've seen him in 5, like early 5s. But
am I wrong? I could be wrong, but I don't think.
I mean, if you looked at the ADP, then you're probably right.
I don't think I'm wrong. Try to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We're gonna have to go to nail a wide receiver 1 here because there's only 3 left. Oh boy.
I mean, I like New England wide receiver 1 a lot personally. Like, I do like that. I'm excited for May. I'm excited for that offense. I know they've been really atrocious as of recent, but
let's go ahead and do it.
Let's fucking do it, man.
I think the Patriots are so interesting because it's like they have Drake May, who has a lot of potential. He was the 3rd pick in the draft. I know the Giants guy. They were interested in moving up to go get him. And I mean, the Patriots, like, they just weren't going to budge no matter what, right? Like they were taking him the whole time. But New England, ever since Tom Brady left, is just doesn't feel good. Yeah. And then just reuniting with Josh McDaniels again, whose offense really kind of faded out in Vegas when he was there. It just doesn't feel very good. So, I mean, like, it's just so tough, I think, to trust them. But I do like Stephon Diggs. He was always kind of one of the best route runners in the league in his prime. The rookie Kyle Williams, I think, is going to be really good too. So it'll be interesting to kind of see who we get from that spot on a week-to-week basis.
Pop Douglas, though, I haven't given up on him fully, but it's
Pop Douglas. Is this the point where you start to think about taking the Cincinnati wide receiver 2 over
so
in Vegas offenses? I think that's probably where I'm at.
I honestly, we were talking about that in whose stream, and I think we agreed with him. I think Cincinnati wide receiver 2 is pretty sexy, man. Honestly,
yeah, it's like at a certain point, do you want a wide receiver 1 in a bad offense, or do you want a wide receiver 2 in a really good offense? And when we talk about this with the traditional best ball, like, you're talking about specific players, but I think that's such a better conversation for this format because you are truly talking about the 1 and the 2 and not necessarily who you think is going to be the 1 and who you think is going to be the 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because usually the 2, like, basically, like my brother would say, right? Like, they both have to have good games for the second one to do well for you to get those points. And a lot has to go right. Yeah, more things. So, like, it's hard to gauge that on most 2s, I would say. But, like, since we were seeing the averages of of Higgins, like, Higgins was getting like 15 plus points per game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I would say,
I think overall through the whole season, it's going to put you at a disadvantage. But on a 1 week sample size, like week 17, I think is what I came to the conclusion. I would probably rather have Cincinnati wide receiver 2 than, LV wide receiver 1. Even though I love Jacoby Myers, it's
the offense.
Yeah,
it's the environment. Because I agree with you. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jacoby Myers. I think he's a really good football player. But I would rather have T. Higgins 11 out of 10 times, like when we're talking about fantasy and in real life. But it's just so, yeah. And again, this platform really makes it such an interesting conversation. We are loaded at running back up top here. Still plenty of running back ones.
There are, yep. It just means they literally took all those wide receivers, man, went so early, so fast.
They did. I think that this is the spot where we're seeing a lot of like ambiguous running back rooms, though. Like especially now with Minnesota, you've heard that it's going to be a much more even split than was anticipated. And I'm gonna do something a little funny here. I'm gonna stack Detroit Lions. I love the idea of Jameson Williams having big weeks along with Amon-Ra. I love the idea of getting Amon-Ra if he is, if the offense explodes and he's just the second best receiver.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we've got a pretty quick turnaround that weekend. Let's check the quarterbacks, see where we are at. Okay, we might be able to push another round or so. What would you guys do here? As we've got a couple picks left.
I would either. I mean, it's a boring answer, but
no boring answer here.
I mean, I think probably. I mean, either of course grab Hurts. I'm not sure if he's going to be there, or grab another. I would probably still grab another running back, because they could always
flag.
Yeah, right. And hey, you said it earlier. 4 RB1s can be pretty tough to come by in some of these drafts. So maybe we just take the blessing and run with it. I think we've got 4 pretty good wide receiver groups.
Yeah,
a couple
looking at the team, like I like it.
Yeah, I think the tough part, as we talked about, not looking at bye weeks, is I have my 2 wide receiver ones both have week 14 buys.
Yeah, that's tough. That's definitely.
But I mean, I think we've got some elite wide receiver 2, or elite offensive wide receiver 2s. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the running back room. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and be a homer and take the Giants. Running back room. I like the players. Maybe not the smartest pick there, as Dallas is going to be more explosive offense, as probably will Jacksonville. But I mean, like I said, just kind of being a homer, I'm gonna take my guys if that's the tiebreaker.
I mean, I love Cam. Also, the Cowboys got to play the Eagles week 17, so definitely gonna be a tough matchup there.
No, I think they play week 8. No, I think they play week 18 because Philly plays Buffalo week 17. I'm pretty positive.
Wait, really?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Holy shit! Wait, who told me that? We did a stream. We did a stream with somebody, and someone told us that.
Well, what was it? Hey, if you play week 18, it can certainly work.
Well, extend the season. My info is back.
We don't play that, but yeah,
I believe. Yeah, Fantasy Couch. Thank you. It is Dallas, Washington, week 17.
What does this guy know? He's just a couch.
So do we play week 18 here? I guess that's a great question. No. Probably for the better. Well, definitely for the better. But do you all have any thoughts of? So right now, you guys just have the one contest. What is it called? Banana Best Ball. Your Banana Best Ball contest.
Yep.
What do you all think about potentially at some point adding like different tournaments with varying, almost like an Underdog or a DraftKings with varying kind of price points?
Yeah, I think that's like the next step. So like,
okay,
hopefully this does very, very well by the end of August. We have talks, number one, about investors, investors, and also, if it's not investor, if it doesn't make sense from both sides, us just growing it. But yeah, like first would be like getting it in season contests. Like we really want to get in season contests like really badly. And then being able to just do various types of contests, different price points, different types, super flex one, like, all types, just like Underdog does, of course.
Right.
Would be awesome. And then eventually just do other sports, man. We want to get into every sport as well. So
so we're talking like expanding into like basketball and baseball and
yeah, everything, man.
Yeah,
we want to be all year round, man. So
I decided to take my tight end here from Chicago. It's a bet on the upside of Colston Loveland to end the season, as it takes a little bit for rookie tight ends traditionally to kind of catch on, while also betting on Cole Kmet's a good football player. And he was a top 10 tight end with Justin Fields a couple of years ago. So I think that's a really interesting pick there. And it kind of just feels like tight end is going to fall off a cliff pretty soon. So I just wanted to make sure.
I'll be right back.
You good?
Yeah, take your time.
So you think could you show the tight end list really quick?
Yeah, for sure.
So where what's your cliff zone there?
So I guess it's interesting because I'm totally out on the Miami tight end, but I like Buffalo, Green Bay, and Dallas.
Got you.
Yeah, the value there. And then at cost, the same for Atlanta. But I am – oh, man, I just got sniped on Jared Goff. I thought he'd get back.
Oh, God.
Let's just go ahead and be fun then and take the Jets quarterback.
I like it.
Let's go ahead and do that. What do you think about stacks in SBS? I'm a big stack guy when it comes to Underdog, but I don't know that it matters so much here.
Yeah. And preface this by saying I think nobody knows.
Of course.
It's so new that there's pretty much no data on it in a sense. My inclination would be it's pretty similar to where having stacks, having a bring back guy, going towards week 17 all helps. All those little things help.
Right.
It's. I mean, I don't necessarily think you need it in a sense, but same reasons you want it on the other platforms. You need less things to go right to kind of do well if you are stacking.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, I think the jury is still kind of out. I should say when it comes to I guess your more traditional best ball formats, I think it's kind of been proven over the years that stacking is definitely a big benefit. But is that just kind of because how we've all been playing and everyone stacks, so naturally the stacking team is going to win? So is it more beneficial now to not stack when the field is actually doing the opposite and stacking everybody? So it's an interesting take, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in this platform.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was hoping to get the San Francisco quarterback there as
Who
well.
Who was that? I could ban them.
I know. We'll have to. Who was that? Silky Johnson 16.
Silky Johnson, you're done. That was the last round.
Gonna have to get you out. So at what point do we start thinking about defenses here, and what made you guys think about adding defenses to best ball when so many folks talk about even getting rid of them for your redraft and your managed leagues?
Yeah, I think and I'm surprised we didn't add kickers as well. Could be an add later in a sense, but I think because it's team positions and there's only a certain amount of them as opposed to players. I think you kind of need defense to kind of first give more draft slots, give more draft rounds, and despite create different teams. And I do think, more than kickers, I do think there is some strategy towards the defense. It's not all. It's all. It does feel like it is luck, but seeing what week 17 matchup they have, The strategy of like you said, when do you draft defense? Do you grab Philly or Denver at the top? Do you grab two late? Do you mix in one good, one bad? Do you just grab one defense? All these different things. I think there is EV, whichever one is correct in a sense. Who the hell knows which one it is though?
It's a matter of finding which one is correct, right?
Yeah.
And how to best play the defenses, because that's something that kind of throws me for a little bit of a loop. Let's see how many picks we have here left so I can prioritize. We've got 4 picks here. So I'm probably done. I'm definitely done a running back. I might be able to squeeze in one more receiver, but we're going to have to look at a defense here soon, a backup quarterback, a second tight end. I'm going to go ahead and take, because I took the Minnesota wide receiver too. I'm going to go ahead and take the Minnesota.
Love it.
I love the Kevin O'Connell system.
Oh my God, dude. There's not that many systems that are better. Come on.
Yeah.
You plug and play any single quarterback there throughout the last several years. And it's just like, you can make Richard go out there and look good.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it. McCarthy's got a lot of promise, and I like Sam Howell. Should anything happen to McCarthy, Sam Howell, he was a top 10 quarterback just a few years ago when he was in Washington. So I like the upside of that position room as a whole.
Look at that.
And something you need to think about also, like with this position base, it's like you also get the backup. So you also want to prioritize teams that maybe prioritize their QB too. Should something happen to the number one,
like Malik Willis, going crazy there in Green Bay.
Oh, literally, Malik was going nuts last year.
He wasn't good for any position players, but
horrible.
Yeah, he got the job done, and that's what the Packers care about, right? They care about winning. I think this is probably the third. We've got 3 picks left. Probably time to figure out the defense, right?
And I think like especially there's a bunch of those quarterback groups that you don't even know who the starters or Russell Wilson and Dar, where it's gonna be a switch off at some point. Here you get the switch off, you get both. So I think I'm surprised more people aren't trying to draft those types of team positions, because mostly they go undrafted.
Right. If you draft them with player-based drafting, you gotta hold up too. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Jets defense. I think it's a pretty good one. And just kind of ride and see. Maybe we'll sneak in another one there, but I lost my train of thought now.
You were the quarterback rooms where you don't know.
Oh, that's right. So, when you draft with player-based drafting, you have to waste 2 roster spots on them if you want to secure the room. Like the Colts is probably a good one, right? With Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, you need 2 roster spots. Here, you get the whole package, all wrapped up in one little pick. So I think that.
Yeah, I think just the biggest thing for specifically best ball contests, you have teams that just literally once you have injuries, your teams most likely are done, for best ball contests. But with team positions, you're still in the hunting. Yes, sometimes if there's an injury that's pretty brutal and it was a high pick, it's gonna be still hard for you to do well. But at least you still have I feel a higher chance.
Yeah, it's not just a dead.
Yeah,
it's not just a dead roster spot, right?
Exactly.
You're still able to produce. I'm going to go ahead. I need a second tight end, and I like what they're doing down there in Jacksonville. Plus, I'm a big Brandon Strange fan who should likely be. Well, you get the whole tight end room opposed to just the tight end 1, tight end 2. So we can talk a little more player based, I guess, with the tight ends and quarterbacks. I really like Brandon Strange this season.
Same.
I have not paid attention to Brandon Strange, honestly. Well, sell me on him.
No, so he came on at the end of last year when Evan Engram was out. I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but I believe he had a 10 target, 8 catch game where he was a top 5 tight end. Generally speaking, he takes tight ends a couple seasons. And I just like the Liam Cohn offense, and there's just a lot of potential down there in Jacksonville. So just big on him as a late round tight end. Could be a bust, but shouldn't really kill me regardless. But just an interesting player. Yeah, like you said, just kind of a tight end. What would you all? So let's look. We've got a couple of picks here.
The last pick.
Yeah, build question. Would you guys go with the second defense, or are you trying to get maybe another? You'd go with another defense.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'd probably go with another defense. Just more outs. Not only covers the bye week, but also just more outs when you get to week 17.
Right.
We got to make sure. Wait, we got to make. Do you know the bye? Do you know the bye?
Oh yeah, that's important. We avoided it on the quarterbacks and the tight ends. That's good. All right, so not week 9.
Yeah,
we need a non-week 9 bye. But we're getting into the doldrums of the defenses here. I'm good. I don't want to just keep being a homer and like go with the Giants, but I think that they could be a sneaky good defense this year. They loaded up. Their front seven is beyond talented. I think they could have a lot of sacks. Do you all see a defense with a higher potential here?
No, I think. Well, who's on top of?
He likes Dallas a lot, right?
The Dallas defense. No.
Okay, yeah, I like Giants.
Well, sell me. I'm going to pick the Giants, but sell me on the Dallas defense and why.
No. Listen, this is the problem. Okay, I'm going to be quite frank with you, because of SBS and stuff like that. I just don't have enough time this year. Like, I don't have enough time to like research like what are the new moves that happen. Like, I just don't. I'm not competing right now in best ball draft. Sadly, like I just don't have enough time. So, but in general, I've just known Dallas, right, to have insane like games with crazy spikes where they get a lot of turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Like they have those type of spikes.
Now give us the flip side of why we shouldn't take Dallas.
I'm sure they lose a lot of players. I mean,
as a Giants fan, it's a tough sell. Their defense just kind of stinks outside of Micah Parsons.
But yeah, who was also saying he loves Giants, and he was talking about their front seven as well. So if you both are saying, I mean,
so they've got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They just drafted Abdul Carter and Dexter Lawrence plugging up the middle. I think it's going to be a fearsome 4 this season for New York. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team here. So tell me about like this is what the final card looks like, and this is minted and stored somewhere. Like what is that?
So like if you go number one, like if you go to like OpenSea, for example, right? That's like the marketplace. Like that's what I know you haven't been there, but that's like the
market. Even before that, you own this team. So this team is in your wallet.
Wallet, yeah.
I'm assuming you signed up with the social like X or Gmail.
I signed up with my Gmail account, yeah.
So pretty much it created a wallet for you. Now this team is in that wallet. And then as Boris was saying, if you go to OpenSea, which is like the marketplace where you could buy and sell, different NFTs, you'll connect your account. We can help you with that process, of course. And then you'll see this team there, and it has all the options like list, this team for a certain price. You could see other teams, you could purchase them, stuff like that. So yeah, you own the team pretty much now.
Yeah, and this is what's going to be really cool. Also, like right now we don't have leaderboards, right? But like once the leaderboards come up on our site, you'll basically be able to like see how all these teams are doing, and we have like weekly prizes and season-long prizes. So like let's say there's teams that are doing very well and they've won a lot of weekly prizes, right? Like there's going to be like money symbols like on cards that won money. So anytime you win money, like it gets attached to that team on our site. So you're going to be like, oh, okay, whoa, like there's some teams that are winning and doing well. Maybe I want to scout and buy this team because it's already doing well. So like there's all these nuances on our site and in the marketplaces that you can like scour and stuff. So
yeah, and I think it's great for new users that are coming on like myself, I suppose, that maybe don't draft the best teams, and I might be one of them. Like who really knows? But like you were saying earlier, like you want some sweats, and you can buy good teams if that's something you want to do. So I think that's a really cool change and why I think that the blockchain is so interesting, because you can kind of do sort of things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this team, and you all can tell me what your honest opinions about it. Both of you and anybody in the comments. We went with the Jets and the Vikings quarterbacks. I think both have some pretty high upside. Specifically talking Justin Fields for the Jets. I think if we end up with Tyrod Taylor at some point, might end up. I like Tyrod. I'm a big Tyrod fan, but for fantasy football, that might end up being a dead roster spot if something happens to Justin Fields. But that's why I like insulating it with Minnesota, who I think the quarterback position, like we said, is going to produce regardless. Then we went with 4 RB1s. We went 3 in a row with Detroit, Baltimore, and Indianapolis. 3 run-heavy teams. 4 explosive running backs, if you want to include David Montgomery, who will certainly probably hit my lineup quite a few weeks. And then we went with the Giants RB1 as well. An interesting duo, just to kind of tack on there for some extra depth. Wide receiver might be a little hairy, as we only have only 2 wide receiver ones, as Boris pointed out to me. Midway through the second round, after I made my second running back pick, that hey man, the wide receivers are really going to go, and maybe you should have picked one of those. But we ended up.
Yeah, I love it though. Like the more I'm looking at this card, like I do like it. Do I know what's going to win and how? That's the whole point. That's why we play this, and that's why team positions is so new. And there's a lot of strategy, but like looking at them and looking at who you specifically drafted, like I think it's a great team, man.
And I think Thomas agrees. I think with us as a whole, maybe a little too heavy on the running backs, but it was a very strong draft. Thank you, Thomas. I agree. I think that I love the San Francisco offense, like I talked about for wide receivers. We talked about how New England may be a little hairy, but there is certainly some upside for the wide receiver ones there. I think what really nailed it as far as keeping this team competitive while going running back heavy was getting the 3 wide receiver 2s that I did. That one, just have talented second wide receivers on their offense, are explosive offenses, and outside of Detroit, are pass first offenses where I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Cincinnati, Detroit, and Minnesota wide receiver 2s hit my lineup more than the New England wide receiver 1. Like, that wouldn't shock me.
Thomas, if he's listening, he would hate that you said that. He's a huge Patriots fan, but
I apologize, but that's just how it goes. It's just how it goes sometimes. I'm a Giants fan. You can laugh at me too. We have Malik Neighbors, a couple studs on defense, and a lot of prayers. So.
But I like it. I think again, maybe it's too run heavy, RB heavy, but I mean, who's to say?
I think that we're relying on starting 3 every week, and that's okay as long as you hit the right 3. Like you can win like that.
I absolutely love it. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's a very viable strategy. And those wide receiver 2s that you grabbed are probably 3 of my favorite. I mean, maybe.
LA Rams is up there, though.
Yeah, but honestly, I probably would take all 3 of those above them too. It's probably a controversial take, but I mean, yeah.
No, I don't hate that take at all. I don't hate it. It's great for me. If somebody wants to come buy this card off for me,
there it is.
They'll certainly give me something to think about now, but I might want to see how this one plays out. I think that the tight end room is.
Yeah, that's the weakest one for sure.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of upside, but it can certainly, it could bottom out very easily. So that's not particularly great. But, and then, as far as the defenses, like it is what it is, right? Like unless you're getting the top one, I think we're all kind of just like picking and hoping for the best, right? You kind of, you can kind of think about, who's got a good defense, who might have a good schedule. But by and large, for me, I think that. Just hoping for the best with defenses. And I'm looking at it now. So I didn't think about this while we were drafting, but sitting back here looking at this card, I actually kind of like stacking the Jets quarterback, presuming it's Justin Fields here, right? With the Jets defense, because if they, it could be a low scoring game and Justin Fields runs for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the defense does great. Justin Fields does it. I don't even care if they win the game. If they play some ugly, low-scoring games, like it tells me Justin Fields is going to run the ball a lot, and both of them can do really well at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, with the defenses, it does bring in a whole new kind of stacking thought. Like, you want to stack your running back. I mean, it's kind of the same theory you were saying with the rushing quarterback.
Yeah.
Stacking your running back with the defense.
Yeah, who was saying that he was trying to stack with his running backs yesterday?
Yeah, like if you've got like if you have a team with a good defense, like we'll just use Philly for an example, right? They've got a good defense. Obviously, we were taking Saquon Barkley, but like it just makes it that much better because fourth quarter they're going to be winning most games. I think we can all presume that, right? Like they're a really good football team,
especially against the Chiefs, right, Richard?
Right.
Are you
He's a Chiefs fan. He's a Chiefs fan, yeah.
I mean, I
was rooting for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Like I was rooting for the Chiefs as a Giants fan. But like that's a great stack because, like I said, in the fourth quarter, like the Eagles are going to be winning, meaning that like the defense is probably playing really well, and they're just going to run the ball
exactly.
In the fourth, Saquon or whoever the RB1 is, they're just going to stack points.
And by run the ball a lot, you mean one carry for 60 yards and a touchdown.
For Saquon,
yeah. For every drive, one carry.
Or he gets stopped at the one, and then there's Jalen push Hurts. There we go. No, Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Please don't take that as me slandering him.
Well, we actually changed. Jalen Hurts is actually Philly running back 1 now. To that position.
I love it. Hey, he might be in some games, or he scores a couple touchdowns. This was great. This was a lot of fun. I think that we ended up with a really good team, maybe a little underrated team, one that you've got to look at and appreciate a little bit to love, but that's okay. Every child is beautiful in their parents' eyes, right? And so my child is beautiful in my eyes, and you guys seem to like it too, right? So we'll see. We'll have to see. I'm going to pay extra attention to this team because it was on stream. Imagine if the big winner was on stream, whether it's this one, hopefully this one, or another stream you guys go on. Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, it's going to happen. People are going to want to, hey, guys, you better come to our stream. You know what I'm saying? When we're drafting.
You guys are going to be blowing up next year if that's the case. Invites left and right. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Any last words about yourselves, where we can follow you, follow the platform? Anything else you wanted to say about it before we wrap up?
Again, we have an on-chain best ball contest right now. That's live. It's live. Up till September 4th. You can draft as many teams as you like. Everybody knows best ball here. But we just hit our guarantee price pool. It's around 100K as of right now. So hopefully we can get it to 200, 300K. I mean, the sky's the limit. There is no limit to how big this can get. And if you are new and you've never tried our product, we'd love to give you guys, some free drafts because we do also have like new user promos, but like, what's the point of the new user promos if you never tried our product? So, we'll definitely be down to give you guys some free drafts to try it. Cause at the end of the day, like what's most interesting for us, especially this year, is just being able to see like, okay, here's people that love best ball, have been playing it for so many years. Like, what do you guys actually think about this product? You know what I mean? And seeing a lot of people actually really enjoying it and making them think, a bit differently now with different strategies has been really cool to watch. So, we appreciate you having us on the stream, and it means a lot. You're fucking amazing. Hope you win first place. Sorry, everybody else, but
I hope I do too. Thank you. That makes two of us. Richard, what about you? Anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, just big shout out, for having us on the stream. I had a blast. Anytime you want to do another one, we're always down. And yeah, if anybody's watching this, have any questions, please feel free to hit us up. We'll answer anything. Again, you don't even need to be in the NFT or crypto side. You can literally make an account like with your X or Gmail, pay with a debit card. Super easy, super clean. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.
Very cool. And from my understanding, you all are doing a draft at 9:00.
Oh yeah. Yes, so we have a special founder draft that happens every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we draft. It's me and my brother that draft. We call ourselves the Vag Bros in this draft. It's very fun.
And if you remember, Boris said he's not doing all the work this year as far as the research on the players and the teams because he's busy trying to build the platform. So something's telling me there might only be 9 teams. 9 real teams in those drafts. So
well, Richard would say he's taking the load and he's
I'm in the same boat.
But basically, like
8. So it's like an 8-person draft, y'all.
Well, we're actually drafting as one team.
Oh, okay, understood.
We're drafting as one team, but basically, like if you end up in that draft with us, that every single person in that draft gets 1 banana spin, which means that you can win, 20 free drafts, up to 20 free drafts, and guarantees at least 1 free draft as well. So, we try to make it real fun and exciting with all of we have like a lot of cool promos and stuff that we do. But yeah, the founder draft is really cool. We stream it every week, and yeah, man, we're excited. Yeah, but you probably don't want to join because we will wreck you, even though we haven't done our research.
Okay? Yeah, it's pretty much a donation if you join that draft. So we'll take it. Though. We'll take it.
I might have to try to hop in that draft in an hour, see if I can sneak some time in and get another draft. And I've got a couple more draft passes. Might as well try to use them with you guys and fast track to the finals and some other cool, fun stuff, right? Thank you all for watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, we also appreciate it. Make sure you hop over to YouTube, as not all of our shows are available on X. My name is Anthony Quaranta. You can follow me at AQ Fresh. You can follow us at at Ethos Fantasy NFL. All of our works on sportsethos.com. Richard, Boris, if you guys want to shout out your X handles, or if folks have any questions, they can go ahead and just kind of shoot you guys a message over there, or whatever you guys prefer that way.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the company one is SBS Fantasy at SBS Fantasy. It's probably the best place. If you are so inclined, you can follow my lovely brother Boris at Boris Vagner on Twitter, and then I'm Rich Vagner on Twitter.
Why don't you put your last name into these things? Are you ashamed of our last name? Like, what's going on?
I didn't know what we were doing. We didn't talk before. I don't know if we were doing the last
name. You always don't do it on streams.
I could have put my middle name. I don't know what we were doing.
Okay, all right. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
no. I wonder if the war rooms for these founders drafts are as heated as we're getting here.
Oh my god!
Recently,
24/7.
Recently, I learned that on streamings you can mute someone, so that's kind of been a save.
Oh, okay. So that's been the move. Is we just hit the mute button.
Yeah, we just want to click
and make the decisions. Richard, Boris, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for joining. Everybody for tuning in. As you know, every Thursday, I'm out here streaming best ball drafts, whether it's SBS, whether it's another platform. So just continue to tune in. Thank you guys again. And happy drafting, everybody.
See you guys. Appreciate you.
Peace.